The anxiety release technique is something you can do every day. It's
Yeah.
almost like a thinking process.
Yeah.
See, anxiety is like a habit. That's what it is. It is a habit that has been developed often for a long period of time. Also, like I think what's really good is instead of focusing on to-do lists, focus on outcomes. Even like when you're managing teams, I like to manage teams based on outcomes because it develops resilience.
Okay.
It develops self-management. I don't do it every day. I'd like to say that I do it every day, but that morning ritual is really, really powerful
Mm, mm.
to really get you going, which is, you just start moving. And I wake up often at about 4 a.m., 4:30, and I just jump on the bike without thinking and just getting some form of movement happening. Typically, when it's a little bit warmer, I actually wear my exercise clothes to bed and just literally just chuck on the shoes and I just start walking. Then the next part is really powerful, is gratitude, because gratitude kind of just wakes you up out of the trance. It wakes you up from being stuck in the past or stuck in the future. And for me, sometimes I find it hard initially to get that cycle of gratitude happening. So I'll just start micro things. I'll be like, I'm grateful for the blade of grass. I'm grateful for, the sand that I'm, can see or walking on right now. I'm grateful for the ocean. And then I kind of move more to a macro kind of gratitude thing, which is, I'm just so grateful for Steffi. I'm so grateful for where I live, my kids. I'm so grateful for what I do. I'm so grateful for who I am. I'm so grateful to have learnt these techniques and these skills to be able to make a contribution to people. And I'm so grateful for where I'm going. And then that leads me into my 7-year vision, where I start to really imagine. And my 7-year vision is like, suddenly I wake up and my kids are jumping on the bed and, I just look at these beautiful little souls and I just feel so blessed to be their father. And then I see my beautiful wife with her honey blonde hair and her magnificent body standing in the doorway looking at me. She's my soulmate. She lights up the room everywhere she goes. We have multiple businesses together. We love helping people and making a contribution. And we talk about the Live It Now movement and how many people we're helping. Now it's, Chef Steph, how many people we're giving food and seeing results of that food, healing people, helping people increase their energy. Talking about, where we live, 66 Bow Street. I walk out onto the balcony. The water is shimmering like diamonds. I'm living in my dream home. I look at the wall and there's a massive television. I remember the countless movie nights. Uh, and I'm so excited. We're going away for 2 weeks to the Maldives. The kids are being minded. We're doing a big lunch with the family. And, the investments, Live It Now movement is helping over 1 million people a year. We're surrounded by the most incredible leaders, and we're looking at really transforming this world and making a positive difference one person at a time. Talk about our investments, all of our different properties, the passive incomes that are coming in, all of those types of things, the money that we're donating to charity, and the lifestyle, the incredible lifestyle that we have. Now, we've got pretty much all of this, apart from, the 1 million people a year that we're helping, and the house on Bow Street and all of that type of stuff. And that's just flux, but we're fundamentally doing all of that stuff. And especially with my health getting back to where it needs to be now, we can get back on that plan of the 1 million people a year that we want to help and adding food to that. And so that's my 7-year vision. And you can see how much detail there is there and how much clarity I have. And then what I do is I chunk back down and I go, okay, what would be a 10 out of 10 day? What would have to happen at the end of this day for it to be a 10 out of 10 day? What is the impact I want to make today? How many people do I want to connect with, which is my mission, creating a positive world one person at a time? How many people do I want to literally brighten up their day, make an impact, make a connection, serve? To achieve any success in life, all that you got to do is just help enough other people. And that's all I need to do, is that I just need to, to fulfill that is just to connect with people, connect with as many people as I possibly can and serve as many people as I possibly can in a day. And that's like a 10 out of 10 day for me, because I know everything else will come from that. Now, I don't do this every day, by the way. I'd love to say that I do. It's just setting your life up. And why I'm sharing all of this is because it came from that 7-year vision and 10 out of 10 day process, which is what would literally be a 10 out of 10 day. Everything organized, everything sorted. Business should be an opportunity to expand your life. Just like relationships. Relationships have been a real theme this week with my mentoring. And I've literally had probably 10 conversations about relationships this week, about how relationships are designed to expand your life, not contract your life. And if you are in a relationship where there is contraction, often what's happening there is there's a wound that's happening. Or if, you're independent or whatever it is, you're not necessarily wanting a relationship, there's an opportunity to look at that because maybe there's hurt, trust issues, whatever it is, and you've made this decision, no, I am not connecting with anyone anymore. It's easier to be single, all of that stuff. Well, if we go a little bit deeper, there's a wound there. And I'll share, I think I've shared this story with you guys, but it's been coming up this week. My beautiful 87-year-old grandma at the time, and she's not here with us anymore, but she'd had a few relationships where there was a lot of hurt. She became quite bitter and angry, especially around men. And she was like, I don't need a man in my life. I never want to connect with another person like that. And very stubborn, really, really stubborn. She isolated herself from the family. She moved up to the Central Coast, had a fight with my mum, said, see you all later, booked into this retirement village. And I've always wanted to keep the family connected. It's just me. And so I would rock up there unannounced and I would take her on dates. I go, hey, Nan, let's go on our date. And I'd take her to this seafood restaurant. I'd buy her little lobster. She loved it. And then we'd typically have an ice cream or something like that. And she was around, the 87 mark and still really, really fit, amazing. And I said to her one day, let me ask you this, what if you did have a relationship? And it just triggered her so much. She's like, no, never. Men are the devil. Apart from you, Matt. And I said, no. Imagine you didn't. And she said, well, I'm too old. I'm 87 years old. My life's over. I don't have time for that stuff. And I said, just entertain an idea. Imagine you just decided to entertain an idea of possibility instead of impossibility. And I said, just imagine. And if you did imagine a relationship that you wanted, what would it be like? And then over in the distance, she sees this clown with all these little kids with puppets. And all the kids are laughing and she looks at him and she goes, I'd like a relationship with a comedian, someone that would make me laugh and where we would have similar interests, lots of fun, all of that stuff. And I said, Nan, it's not about the time you have, it's the moments. And those moments can be magical. Mm. And I said, what if the best is yet to come? And I said, imagining those scenarios. You're imagining the opposite right now of, being alone and all of that stuff. I said, what if you just decided to have a new idea and then start to tell yourself a new story, a possibility? I think you might feel better inside if you thought like that way. And she goes, you know what? I feel really good right now, Matt. Anyway, 2 weeks later, she calls me. You're never going to guess what happened. She's at Bunnings in the gardening section. This guy walks up to her and tells a joke. They've got all this stuff in common, gardening. Turns out he lives next door, literally the retirement village next door. This amazing relationship unfolds. Wow. Having so much fun. They're into their gardening. He's got his train set and all this stuff is up. And he's this hilarious guy. Laurie, his name was. And so this amazing relationship started. She's so happy. And they started dating and going on all of these trips and all of this stuff. And when my nan passed away, she had some kidney problems. She was about 94. And it was really an amazing experience. She held my hand and she said, thank you. Thank you so much. You know what the even most amazing thing is she moved right near Steffi and she saw a photo of Steph and said, you'll marry her. And when she passed away, Steph contacted me, and that's when it became really serious between Steph and I, because we were kind of just, dating, all of that type of stuff. But that's when it became really serious. And so it was almost like out of all the places she could go, Bayview, literally a kilometre from Steffi, her mum works at, that aged care facility at the time. So many synchronicities, right? And so this has been a real theme. And I'm going to get to the point right now is sometimes we just need to put a new idea in there. And I think how you start's how you finish. So putting some really good ideas in the morning about what you want is probably a good idea. and then backing it with gratitude, that type of energy, that type of frequency, literally almost sets up an attractor field. And so the process is really simple. Step number one, move. Like, don't bash yourself, just move. Motion creates emotion, right? Step number two, get grateful. There is always a way to get grateful. There's always something to be grateful if you focus on it and start to build that cycle of gratitude. What else could I be grateful for? What else could I be grateful for? And then go big picture. And it's not about the stuff, right? It's who you're becoming. And just see that the leader that you are becoming that has created all of the result. That's like a breakout goal, right? We focus on who you're becoming, and by you becoming that leader, you manifest the result. If you want freedom, it starts from within, then it manifests externally. And then we need to get into action, which is your future now, right? What is a 10 out of 10 day? And then executing that as fast as humanly possible. And I really like to look at that 10 out of 10 day and go, okay, what am I avoiding? Let's hit that without thinking. Boom. And that creates a momentum that is really, really powerful. So guys, what if you could commit to that? What if you could commit to maybe 2 or 3 times over the next week of doing kind of your morning recharge? That's what I call it. It's like a morning recharge where we are recharging the energy of creation and manifestation, because it is an attractor field, right? That's what it is. Because when you can recharge and charge up, or the morning charge up is probably a better name, then when you put yourself in new playgrounds, that energy will pull in people, opportunity. Remember, your energy introduces you.